Hello guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. So in this video I'm going to be showing you how to properly stitch in your 6 pieces top. This is very beginner friendly and there's a lot to learn, so sit tight and yeah, make sure to always practice what you've learned. Let's get right into this tutorial.
So guys, you can see I've gone ahead to cut out my pieces. Right here is the center back, and at the hem for every one of them I went ahead to add 1 inch. Okay, because I'm going to be turning this with my lining, so at the hem I added 1 inch, and then for the sides, also at the shoulder and the neck area, I added half an inch for seam allowance. Okay, now for the side front and the side back, you don't need to add any seam allowance at the sides because we've already gone ahead to add 1.5 inches seam allowance. Okay, but then for the other sides you can go ahead and add half an inch seam allowance round, and then at the hem I went ahead to add 1 inch for the hem. And also at the zipper area I did not add any extra seam allowance because I came out by 1 inch for my zipper, half inch for turning with my lining, and half inch for my zipper. And right here is the side back. You can see this is half an inch allowance, 1 inch for the hem, and at the sides I didn't add any extra because we already have 1.5 inches. Yeah, so these are all my pieces together. You can see how beautiful this is looking. We are going to head over to the sewing machine and stitch these pieces up. Alright guys, so I've gone ahead to cut out my lining pieces as well, and if you look you would see that I have my stay on this. This is just stay that I put on the fabric for stability, and also you can see that I have my breast pads. I used hard wadding. I have a tutorial on how to properly fuse in your hard wadding on your breast part. You can go ahead and watch that tutorial. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and start stitching these pieces together. So these both are the center fronts and these are the side fronts. So I'm going to be joining one center front to one side front and another center front to the other side front. Okay, and also you know how I join my, okay, I'm showing you guys how I fused in my parts. You can see it is starting from my upper bust to my under bust area. Okay, now to join this I'm going to join from the down part up, because when I'm joining my princess that bustier or my normal bustier, I always like to join from the hem and work my way upwards. All right, so you can see I'm going to head to put these pieces together, and I'm going to head over to my sewing machine and join this from the hem upwards. Okay, and this is one side front to this is one center front to one side front. All right, and remember the center front are in 2 pieces because we're going to be having our zipper right there. Guys, you can see what this is looking like. Now make sure to go ahead and nudge. All right, always nudge when you are making a bustier or when you sew on a curve. When you sew on a curve, always nudge, and also don't forget to nudge at that waist area. Okay, it is very important to also nudge at your waist area. So you can see my armhole. Remember that we came out by 2 inches to avoid shortages. So I'm just going ahead to trace that back, and you can see that it is equal and looking very nice. Now I've gone ahead to do the same thing for the other part of my front. All right, now for the back pieces I'm going to go in as well and join the side backs to the center back, and as well I'm going to start from the hem and work my way upwards just like I did for the front. So you can go ahead and just use your pins to hold this in place just so that it will be easier for you when you are joining your pieces together. Now guys, you can see my front and my back pieces are ready, and I've gone ahead to also iron open my stitches. Very important. Iron open your stitches. Very important, guys. So the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and join this by the shoulder. So we're going to go ahead and join this by the shoulder and then proceed to um you know joining our collar. I'm going to show you how to draft out your collar pattern. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and join this by the shoulder, right sides facing each other. Now guys, I am done with joining this by the shoulder. The next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and measure my neck round, and you can see where I am starting from that point where I came out by 1 inch for my zipper. All right, so you can see the importance of coming out from there by 1 inch, or by how many inches you are using for your zipper allowance. So from that point, just measure from that point to the opposite point for your neck round. All right, so for me, what I have is exactly 26 inches. So now let us go ahead and draft out our collar pattern. Please don't mind my paper, I have to join these two papers. All right, now go ahead and draw a vertical line and a horizontal line. These are just going to be your two starting lines. Okay, now when I measured my neck round, what I have is 26 inches. So whatever you have, you're going to divide by 2. 26 divided by 2 is 13. So I'm marking 13 right there. All right, and I am also marking 13 up here as well. Okay, and then I'm just going to join these two dots together. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to come to the back. So right here is the back. Okay, and I'm going to measure how wide I want my collar to be. So I want it on fold to be 2 inches. So I'm marking 4.5 using 0.5 inches for seam allowance. Okay, now I'm going to come to the front, and remember this collar is wide in front, so you want to know how wide you want it to be. I want mine to be 7.5 inches wide plus 0.5 inches allowance, 8 inches, just like to make everything to be 8 inches wide. So right here is the center back, and there the center front. The center front is wide, so you're going to connect from your center back all the way up to that center front area, so you can see what we have now. From that center back, you're going to go up by 0.5 inches and just connect with a little curve down. This is going to help your collar sit properly on your neck. Okay, so down here is going to be joined to the neck area. Okay, so you want to do this so that your collar can fit perfectly on your neck. Okay, now come to the center front. Our collar is kind of going inside, more like in a triangular form. So from that point up here, I'm going to go in by 1.5 inches. Now the more you go in is the more your collar is going to spread away from your neck. I don't know if you understand, but I'm going to show you what I mean. So but I came in by 1.5 inches, and I'm connecting that back to the the beginning point right there. Okay, and this is how I'm going to cut this out. So the center back is to be cut on fold. You can see that mark I made there means that it is to be cut on fold. So guys, I'm going to go ahead to trim this out, and as well go ahead to cut this out on my fabric. Okay, and when you are cutting this, you want to go ahead and add 0.5 inches seam allowance round, because we are going to be turning this with a lining piece, so you want to have 0.5 inches seam allowance for turning with your lining. So I'm just trying to show you guys what I mean by the down part going upwards, more like in a triangular form. You can see, so the more you go in at that center front area, the more it is going to go up. Hope you understand. So I've gone ahead to cut out my collar on my fabric, and this fabric wasn't enough, so I had to cut my center back. Like, I have to cut this collar into two. Remember, your center back is to be cut on fold. Okay, if you have enough fabric, go ahead and cut this on fold, but I couldn't cut it on fold because I was trying to manage my fabric. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and stitch these two parts together to form one piece. All right, Now guys, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and cut on my lining piece. And remember, this is supposed to be cut on fold, but I had to cut it into two because I'm trying to manage my fabric. So my lining piece I am cutting on fold. All right, so my lining piece is on fold, while my fabric I am just going to go ahead and join it together just so that it is going to be on fold as well. So I've gone ahead to join this and you can see what it is looking like. And right here is my lining piece. Sorry, this is going to be the facing actually. This is going to be the facing for the collar. Okay, so you can use a different shiny, you can use doll face lining, use the shiny part as your facing. You can use another fabric altogether as your facing. You can just, try to be creative with it. Okay, so yeah, I'm going ahead to join my main fabric and my facing together, and you can see, so go ahead and just go ahead and nudge those edge, and also at that middle point as well, nudge it, and then go ahead to turn this around and then give this a very very good press when you are done. So guys, I'm giving this a very good press and you can see how beautiful it is looking. So now I'm just going ahead to pin my collar on my on my fabric from that neck point to the other neck point. This is very very simple to make, guys. Just follow what I'm doing and you will be able to make this and come up with something really beautiful. So I'm just going ahead to pin this from that point before my zipper to the other point before my zipper. And if your pattern drafting for your collar was accurate, it is going to be exactly the same length. Okay, you can see what mine is looking like. Now I'm going to head over to my sewing machine and stitch this together. So guys, I'm going ahead to stitch this on my fabric on the neck part, and you can see what it is looking like. Now guys, next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and fix in my zipper. Okay, so just the normal way you would fix in your zipper at the back, that is also the same way you would fix in your zipper here. And remember, at this down part, to start at the end part of your zipper. Okay, hope you understand. We're going to start from that end part and then pin upwards. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead now and pin my zipper to each side of my front piece, and you can see I'm starting at that very point where my allowance for my zipper started. At that very point where I came out for my zipper allowance, I am going ahead to pin in my zipper and then head over to the sewing machine to stitch these pieces, to stitch my zipper to my fabric. So guys, I'm going to head to stitch in my zipper and you can see how beautiful it is already looking. So you can use a very shiny zipper, all these fancy zippers as well. Just try to be creative. Okay, so I'm just going ahead to cut off the excesses, and please make sure that you have zipped down before you go ahead and cut this out. Okay, make sure that your zipper is down before you go ahead and cut this out. Now the next thing, or the final thing we are going to do, okay, not the final thing, but the next thing we are going to do is to turn with our lining. And mind you guys, everything I did for the main piece, I did for the lining piece except the collar and the zipper part. Okay, I have joined the lining pieces, the front pieces, the back pieces, and I've also joined them by the shoulder. Now you want to go ahead and mark the middle point of your main fabric, holding it by the neck. So you can see what I am doing. I am holding it by the neck and I'm going to just go ahead and mark the middle point right there. As well for my lining piece, I am going to as well hold it by the neck area and mark the middle point, just so I place them together from this middle point and start pinning them together. So guys, what we're going to achieve now is to turn every part of this top with its lining. Okay, so we're going to start from the neck and start pinning. Make sure to match up those two middle points and then start pinning from the neck round like the two front pieces and the back piece. So you can see I'm going towards that zipper area, walk my way down from the neck down to the zipper area, and then from the zipper area I am walking my way down all the way down to the hem part. Okay, and when you get to that zipper area, you want to be really careful when you are pinning this together, and then work my way all the way to the down part. You can see I am pinning this round, and then from there I'm going to work my way to the side. Okay, so we're like turning every part of the main fabric except the armhole, because I want to turn this out from the armhole. So when I reach that armhole area, I stop and then I continue from the back again. Okay, you can see what I am doing from the back. I'll start from the side, start pinning from the side, then go to the hem and continue pinning these together. Make sure to arrange your lining to match up very well with your main fabric. Okay, so I am pinning the hem, and then from the this is the back hem. Okay, make sure you're following me, guys, and then from here I'm going to go back again to the other part of the side, pin these all the way up to that armhole area and stop, and then go back again to the remaining front piece. So this is how I'm going to pin this together until I am done, and then I will head over to my sewing machine and stitch these pieces together. So guys, when you are done, you want to go ahead and turn this out from the armhole area. Okay, so you can see how beautiful this is already looking. Can you see what it is looking like? And when you turn this like this, every part of your top is like the rough parts are going to be inside. You can see what the back part is looking like. All right, and then for the sleeve, I don't even have much fabric again. What I have for my sleeve length is 10 inches. You can see what I have, so I just went ahead to cut this out, and yeah, I'm going to go ahead and fix this to my top. I'm gonna head to join my top by the sides, so I'm just gonna head to go ahead so I'm just going to go ahead to join my sleeve to my top. Guys, I have a tutorial on how to properly draft out your sleeve pattern, so please you can go and watch that tutorial. Okay, so I went ahead to fix it my sleeve, and this is what it is looking like. You can see how beautiful this is looking. See you guys on the next one.